Hey everybody, Jeff here at DisasterEmergency.net. Thanks very much for stopping by. I wanted to have a sort of a little one-on-one powwow with you regarding emergency preparedness and how prepared are you. When I first began to, I don't know, become a little more conscious and aware of the fact that, maybe there might be a little something to the various news outlets saying, get prepared, we're in for some bumpy rides or a rocky ride, and $16 trillion in debt, and that's of course just the not including the unfunded liabilities. But the financial issues that our nation is currently facing, probably not all that great. I mean, if you're not listening to the news at all, there are some pretty bad things going on in Greece. Huge unemployment rates. People are getting laid off. They're losing their jobs. They don't have any food to eat, no shelter, etc., etc. So you can't prepare for everything, of course, but certainly we can all get a little better prepared than probably most people are. I used to think that, I've got some canned food in the cupboard, and so I'm prepared. I'm good for a few days. A few days really isn't enough. A week isn't enough. God knows, probably a month isn't enough. But it's not something that is insurmountable. It doesn't cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to do. You can start today. Get out a notebook. Start jotting down the things that you have in the house. Write down the expiration dates on your canned food. Sort of, categorize and catalog what you currently have. And then go from there. I recently bought, I think it was 30 cans of the Food Lion brand tuna. Not my favorite tuna, mind you, just the regular old chunk light. I think it was in oil, but it was on sale, and I figured, if we're all starving to death, a little bit of extra oil might come in handy. But very inexpensive overall. And now of course I pulled from the back of the shelf, which is what you need to do, and find the oldest expiration dates. But I think that those cans of tuna didn't expire until either 2015 or 2016. That's a long time. So I'm guessing that if we have whatever issues happen to come down the pike, that it's probably going to happen between now and then, if it happens at all. Hopefully nothing will happen, but I am preparing myself as best I can. I don't have millions of dollars, so it's more difficult to plan for these kinds of things on a budget, but it can be done, and it's not all that difficult to do. Like I said, look out, watch in the sale papers at the local Food Lion or Walmart or Giant, Safeway, wherever it is that you happen to shop for your groceries. You can buy freeze-dried food online. Just a variety of things. One of the things that I had never really thought about was toilet paper. I mean, it's pretty cheap. There's a virtually unlimited supply. I've never been without toilet paper in my life. So whoever really thought about it? But I found out through tracking that a roll of quilted northern lasts about a week for an average adult male, with no noticeable, at least not at the time, any kind of bowel issues. So for one person, 52 rolls a year. Probably never thought much about that. I never thought much about that either until I started getting a little more educated on this topic, until I started doing more reading and sort of putting it in the forefront, and you know, then you're starting to think about, oh boy, if that's how long it takes for toilet paper, how long does it take for deodorant and toothpaste, and what about that toothbrush, the manual kind, mind you, and so many other things that we all take for granted. We don't even think about them. Napkins, paper towels, you know, rice, pasta, I mean, I don't know, just a whole ton of things. And again, if you start doing it today, don't put it off until tomorrow. Start doing something today. Get out a notebook. Surely you have some paper around the house. Get into your cabinet and jot these things down. Mark down what you have and when the expiration dates are. You'll probably find, if you start doing that, that you've got some things that you could throw away. I found, when I started doing it, I found some sort of spice that I had that, Jesus, I think that it expired in like 1989 that I had been carrying around in my cabinet and moving it and packing it and all of that for all of those years and never used it. And so ultimately I threw it away. But, you know, I mean, what are we talking? 20 years? 89, 99, almost 30 years I've been carrying it around. It's just crazy. So you'll probably be surprised at some of those things as well. But do yourself a favor. You owe it to yourself and to your family. Do some preparation. You may not be able to prepare for, you know, being holed up in a bomb shelter for the next 5 years, but you can at least do something to prepare for not so good at times. I mean, here in America, nobody in my generation, no one, certainly no one after my generation, has ever really been through much in the way of disaster. We haven't had to suffer through the Great Depression. We haven't had to starve. Most people, I mean, they say that in America there are people that go to bed hungry every night as well. Thank God I've never had to go through that. And I hope that I never have to go through it, and I hope that no Americans ever have to go through that. But at any rate, I'm very passionate about this. I'm not in the dark anymore, and I think that people need to be prepared. Maybe nothing's ever going to happen. Maybe it'll be all terrific, and maybe I'm listening to all the wrong radio stations and news stations and all that. Could be. But if they're right, and you don't have anything to eat, well, it's probably not going to be all that good of a day for you. So anyway, like I said, do some preparation for yourself and your family. And yeah, so anyway, thanks again for stopping by disasteremergency.net. Take care.